Morning, Intuitives. Little departure from my normal content for this one. Now, over the time of this channel, I have had a decent amount of you mention video games to me at one point or another. And I have used older games as references because I've stated multiple times on this channel that, I'm not a gamer and I haven't been in quite a long time, like since the PS2 era, because once I was old enough to drive, video games kind of lost, a lot of their allure for me, and eventually they just faded out. Plus, the series that I followed ended. And I never was into like the online or multiplayer stuff. I liked immersive stories. And that's where this is going. I mentioned in a few of my videos that my all-time favorite series was the Legacy of Kain. Great 5 games. Well, 4 great games and an okay game. Yeah, Blood Omen 2. But that was my all-time favorite series. Very immersive, great storyline. You play Legacy of Kain for the story. Phenomenal voice acting. Absolutely love the Shakespearean dialogue, the plot twists, the turns, the machinations. It's just great. And, especially given that I was in middle school and high school when the series was coming out, it was very relatable to me, especially given where I live. All the backstabbing and narcissism and, the machinations and plotting against people trying to do the right thing. I really related to it at the time. I really related to Raziel more, Raziel's 9FJ, the guy trying to do the right thing keeps getting screwed over, keeps getting misled. No one plays it straight with him. That was, very, very uplifting and very immersive, for escapism. If you're a regular viewer of my channel, I did a video on why escapism for INFJs is important. And Legacy of Kain is very much a series where you can escape your woes and immerse yourself in a very rich, very gothic story with exceptional voice dialogue, as I did. And later, as I got older, I still would revisit the videos on YouTube because I really was always some way for me to escape my woes for a little bit and immerse myself in such a great story. Now, given, the past 2 years, I really relate to the Elder Kain because, well, I haven't changed much the way I'm viewed in Chester County. Even though I'm still attempting to help people and do the right thing, I'm at best an anti-hero because challenging the status quo where I am is the cardinal of all sins, and one must bow before the self-proclaimed kings and queens. That's a lifelong thing. Watch my other videos. I don't like the culture of this area, and it doesn't like me. That's the nutshell of it, but I don't want to get too deep into that. However, thinking, what the hell is this nobody who does videos on INFJs and narcissism talking about a long forgotten but gem of a video game? Well, not as forgotten as one might think. Hope remains. So, as I was looking at some Legacy of Kain videos not long ago on a channel called Strictly Fantasy, if you're in the Legacy of Kain, check out that channel. He does some very excellent videos on a lot of Legacy of Kain topics, and I very much applaud his work. The man is quite skilled, quite in depth, and has far better skills on YouTube than I could ever fathom. So, great videos, watch them. But in one of them, he mentioned that Crystal Dynamics has the rights to the series back, and they're doing a poll. I actually took the poll. I'm a guy who doesn't give a shit about video games and haven't for well over a decade. They're going to bring it back. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know yet. Legacy of Kain has had more canceled games, I think, than anybody. And I would love nothing more, and answer me Legacy of Kain fans, because I know some people who don't watch my regular videos are going to see this. Are we on the same page? Like, I want a sequel to Defiance. I want what the Dark Prophecy was supposed to be. I want to know how the story ends. I don't give a shit about some online multiplayer thing. Reboots would be cool, but I'll be honest, I don't care about replaying the old games. The story, I can watch the storylines on YouTube. I'm not saying that shouldn't be done eventually, but give us a real sequel because, I was in it for the story. I want to know how the damn thing ends. I want a proper sequel with a proper ending. And I stress proper ending because I don't want like season 8 Game of Thrones style ending. Well, I don't think anyone could drop the ball like that. However, you never know. Look at Blood Omen 2. That's what a Legacy of Kain game is when Amy Hennig is not involved, although maybe Dennis Dyack could wrap up the series. It was his creation to begin with after all. But for For those of you that are fellow Legacy of Kain fans, hope remains for me that not the ending of Defiance is the biggest cliffhanger to any TV show, video game, anything in my life. There is not another fictional story that I, want a true ending to more than this, even if I don't play the game. Although I'm saying this isn't important enough for me that I would get a system and get the game just to see how this ends. I really, really want to see what the Elder Kain can do. And yeah, I've seen some of the fan fiction stuff, and some of it's pretty good, but I want the full in-depth story, all the loose ends tied up. Why is Vorador alive in Blood Omen 2? Who the hell's that mysterious picture of that woman that's been in 2 games? Let's see Nosgoth pre the Pillars. Let's return to the Soul Reaver area. How the hell did the Elder God get there? Things of that nature. Where was Mortanius during the slaughter of the Circle? When Vorador slaughtered the Circle. Yeah. What exactly is the Seer? Vampire Hilden hybrid? Maybe. Yeah. This kind of stuff. What happened to Vorador after Blood Omen 2? So, there's a lot of unanswered questions with the Legacy of Kain that could be wrapped up in one game done properly, and if it's actually, the length they want it to be and not cut way short like Soul Reaver 2 was. Don't make us MacGuffin chase either. You do it enough with the Reaver power-ups. We had to do the same thing in Defiance that we did in Soul Reaver 2. That really pissed me off. You should have at least let us keep the ones we already did. And it's yeah, you got 4 more you got to do because we couldn't fit it in this game. So, there's people play these games mainly for the storyline. Don't forget that. And please, give us a true sequel, not some redux of Dead Sun, which looked like a decent game in its own right, but come on, it wasn't Legacy of Kain. Just figured I'd put this video out there as the opinion of someone who really likes the Legacy of Kain, but doesn't give a shit about modern gaming, to see what other people think and to show that, hey, there's interest in this from people who don't have interest in any other video games. That's how loyal and devoted some of the Legacy of Kain fan base is, that you would get people like me to go out and, get into gaming just to see this story conclude. And we're doing it for the story. Something like a reboot would be yeah, well, that'd be modern graphics and better mechanics are great and all, but I already know the story, and that's why I was into it to begin with. Just wanted to put a little video out to see if anybody else is on the same page I am with this news, or am I like always, the last of my kind, the only one like me, standing alone on the all-alone stone. I doubt it in this case. So, hi Legacy of Kain fans, please check out my other videos, help my channel grow. It'd be pretty awesome if you did help out one of your own. And let's hope we finally get that long-awaited conclusion to the story that we all love so much. And please check out other channels that have kept interest in the Legacy of Kain alive, like Strictly Fantasy, Rihanna Ordrin, channels such as that, who have been truly devoted to keeping, the most epic story in video game history alive. And just know, for all of you that do Legacy of Kain content, I've probably seen some of your work, and it's awesome. And thank you for all you've done, because I don't think we even would have this option if those channels hadn't helped keep interest in this all but forgotten series still around. So we're finally at the point where it seems like they're going to pay attention to us. And do the poll if you haven't. Stay vocal about what exactly you want them to do with the series, which the only correct answer is a sequel to Defiance. And let's hope we finally get to see the conclusion of Kain's story.